Well, we're back right here on the weekend show, and right now we're going to get to our guest that we have tonight right here in the studio. We have with us Dari AlHuwail, and Dari is an international relations officer and CoralWatch coordinator for the Kuwait Dive Team. They're the guardians of the sea. Dari, welcome to our program. Nice to have you back once again.
Thank you, Tariq. Likewise, and thank you for the opportunity. I know this is not the first time, but we're very, very happy to be back.
It's our pleasure always to have members of the Kuwait Dive Team with us right here on the weekend show. And Dari, I know it's been a very busy summer. A lot of activities taking place for the Kuwait Dive Team, from organizing workshops, the relic removal, that project at Garo and also at Al-Maradim, to many other issues which we'll talk about tonight right here on the weekend show. But could you tell us about now the CoralWatch workshops? Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Certainly. The CoralWatch workshops are organized by the Kuwait Dive Team here in Kuwait. Alhamdulillah, we've been to multiple dive organizations and dive clubs here in Kuwait, and in cooperation with the Scientific Center as well. So we've conducted multiple workshops about the program for CoralWatch. So CoralWatch is a program that talks about documenting and reporting the health of the coral reefs in Kuwait. It's a not-for-profit organization with the University of Queensland in Australia, as well as Project Aware from PADI. So at the moment, we have conducted 3 workshops, and those have been with the Scientific Center, Apple Dive Center, and Frog Dive Center. And we are hoping to conduct more and more of these workshops to hopefully cover not only Kuwait, but also the Gulf region as well. We want to spread this knowledge. We want to spread the passion for the coral and its protection.
I believe your last visit was when you attended some training, I believe, in the UK, correct?
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. And not only did we do training, participate in the exhibition, but we also met with the people who are behind those signatures that we see in the emails, or who we communicate on a regular basis from Project Aware themselves. And we conducted mutual presentations, so both from Kuwait Dive Team and from Project Aware. Okay,
and tell us, how did the workshops that took place in Kuwait, I saw a few of the articles in the newspapers, I believe they were well attended, good feedback from that?
It was excellent feedback, and we're hoping, like I said, to conduct more and more. We were very, very happy and very enthusiastic that a lot of people attended, and many dive centers actually do approach us and want us to conduct more and more of these workshops. And through this show, we'd like to invite anybody who's willing and who wants us to provide that workshop. We're more than happy to do it.
Okay, very well said. And towards the end of our program, we'll put the website of the Kuwait Dive Team, so you'll be able to contact them for any further information that you may need. And the Kuwait Dive Team, Dari, in a local press release in 2010, they stated that 90% of Kuwait's coral reefs are dying. So what's the status of that now, a year long, let's say 2011?
Alhamdulillah, the coral is gaining back its if you will, its natural color. We think it's reviving, it's becoming healthier. But like any cautious people, we always want to protect our reefs, we want to protect our oceans. The environment is fragile, and especially corals. If we don't take care of them, unfortunately, they will die. Now, we are very happy that it's about this time of this year, last year, when we noticed the bleaching happening. So right now, alhamdulillah, there's no bleaching to that mass effect.
Sorry, you said bleaching now. For audience who may not be familiar with that term, what does that mean, please?
So bleaching means when the coral turns to the color white. And it does that because there are a special, if you will, Zwanthil, the name escapes me right now, but there are special kind of bacteria that live within the coral, and if they escape due to the heat rising within the ocean, the coral turns to white, and that's how we call it. The coral is bleached.
So part of that is natural because we have a lot of the weather's very hot in the state of Kuwait, so it's bound to happen anyway.
Of course, but we also have to think back of climate change and what's happening around the globe. So as human beings, we do participate in that, and we do play an active role. So all of us now drive cars, if you will, operate many electronic devices that require power, and based on that power, we need to generate it from a source, and based on that source, we rise the heat in the atmosphere, and thus, we are definitely a contributor to this.
Okay. It was stated also in the website that the Kuwait Dive Team was saying that the coral bleaching stretched 23 kilometers. I believe is that a long distance?
That is a very long distance. Now, luckily this year, that we haven't seen that.
Okay, great.
So we've seen very small patches, if you will, of bleaching, which is pretty normal and pretty regular if you did a survey, to different coral reefs in the world. But like I said, I guess the message here is that coral reefs are very fragile, and we need to keep our eyes on them, all the time. And that's where CoralWatch comes into play. So we encourage more and more divers in the diving community, even people who snorkel, who do not dive, to participate in this and take an active role. By reporting this data to the University of Queensland, there are actually researchers that take this data, collect it, analyze it, not only on a Kuwait level, but on a worldwide level, and they do report on the
data they get. What do they hope to get out of that? What can be exchanged between the let's say the dive teams around the world?
They assess the health of the coral, and they report whether the coral is bleaching around the world or not. Now, for regular people, regular divers, to us that we know if the coral is healthy or not. But to, if you will, scientists, they would know how to tackle what areas would they expect bleaching to happen, so on and so forth. And last year when we reported the bleaching, we had a very, very active, if you will, enthusiasm and participation from Project Aware and from CoralWatch themselves. We were actually featured on their website, and the report of Kuwait was on their website for 4 months.
Okay, that's good to hear, and we hope to see, as you said, more of the CoralWatch workshops to make people more aware, because it seems like still that the public, Dari, is, let's say, still a bit careless when it comes to our coral and marine life in general.
Definitely, definitely. We're seeing a lot of damage, be it from boaters, be it from people who are diving or who are snorkeling, but unfortunately do not know how to handle or maintain their buoyancy. So a lot of them, might touch the coral, harm it, or even, break it, and that's a very sad story.
Because it takes decades for it to regenerate, correct?
Definitely, definitely. It takes a long time, and you have to provide conditions that would make these corals live and thrive.
Okay, I know also part of the Kuwait Dive Team activities is the island cleanups that you're doing also. Can you tell us on that a little bit, please?
So we are very active when it comes to cleanups, be it on islands, underwater, and above water, on the shore. And we do have numerous operations that we participate in. Now, the most recent ones have been in Garo and Al-Maradim. We've lifted tons of waste from these islands. And recently, we have lifted a deadly fishing net, and that was by Rikse, which is by Zor and Nader shores. And you're talking, we were, I remember, 8 people or 8 divers trying to lift that net, and it was very, very heavy. At the end of the day, we had to tow it and use a crane, a small crane, to lift that fishing net.
Yeah, I do have to say one thing. You should all be commended, the Kuwait Dive Team members, for your dedicated service to the community and protecting the marine environment. We always following your news on the website and the newspapers, really doing a great job, Dari.
Thank you, Tariq. And I think also we would like to commend you as well, because as a show, as people who are, if you will, sharing this knowledge and sharing this awareness message, you're doing a great job, because this is what we're telling people. If today we lift 10 tons, as the general public, you can do even more. If you raise the awareness, if you make people aware of what's happening, how can we stop harming this environment, then we actually, you do our job even 10 times more than we do.
Sure, we work hand in hand to try to get that message across to members of our community. And Dari, as we were talking earlier before we came on air, also a big photography exhibition, I believe, is coming up in the near future, where the Kuwait Dive Team will be taking part with some of their photos and so forth. Tell us more about this exhibition, where, when, what's going to take place, please.
Definitely. The reports that you've told us about today, actually photo frenzy. So we have one of our team members, and he's a dear friend, Ammar Fozan. He's actually putting together this gallery underwater exhibition. And as a dive team, not only do we have a team member participating, but as an organization, we're also participating in this. It will take place between the 25th to the 29th of September at the Tilal Gallery. So we invite everybody to come and enjoy this great and wonderful underwater world photography exhibition.
And it's open for the public, Dari, huh?
It is definitely open for the public.
Okay,
Correct.
look forward to that. Well, hopefully myself and the crew will come, and definitely our cameras will cover that event to show it to the audience of the weekend show, maybe watching Kuwait or wherever they may be watching around the world. And Dari, I know also that the Kuwait Dive Team we talked about earlier has a website. Can you tell us about that website, what can be seen there, and people, what can they look at, so forth?
Definitely. Our website is www.freekuwait.org, all one word. Now, you'll find our latest operations. You'll find tons of pictures, hopefully this interview on YouTube very soon. And we do have our social media channels all connected into the website. So be it if you're a Facebook fan, if you're a Twitter follower, if you like to browse pictures on Flickr or watch videos on YouTube, you can all find it on our website, and you'll find the links there. And you can follow our news almost instantly and see the latest updates with the achievements and what we've been doing in terms of cleanups, our CoralWatch workshops, and hopefully the photography exhibition.
And as you said at the top of our interview, if people would like to contact you, companies or various organizations for the workshops, that's possible?
Definitely, that's possible through the website. There's a link for Contact Us, and all our information is available online, be it from emails to fax numbers to telephone numbers. We are very well, if you will, organized and connected in that manner.
And I have to say it's very user-friendly. The website, I was looking at it earlier, very easy to navigate through it, and information very precise. Very nice website that the Kuwait Dive Team has. And Lottie, as we're coming towards the end of our interview, for the audience watching in Kuwait and wherever they may be watching around the world, what kind of advice or what bit of advice would you like to give them about protecting our marine environment? I mean, the Kuwait Dive Team, they are the guardians of the sea. Tell us, what advice do you have for our audience watching?
Being sensible is number one, and making sure that treating the environment as being it your own home. I guess if we do that, then we can resolve almost 80% of all the problems that happen. But I think an active role that everybody can take and could and would take would be to advocate for this environment, to advocate for its protection, and to advocate for its safety and its cleanliness and what have you. But definitely, as a general public, not only do you advocate, not only do you treat it, but if you do see something wrong, report it. So we have many people
that can report it to the website also. And
absolutely. So for example, let's assume that you found a deadly fishing net stuck somewhere. So if you have a GPS, take the coordinates of where you found it, and let us know. Just give us a phone call or send us an email. Hey, I found this fishing net with these coordinates, and contact us, and we'll be more than happy to go and take it off.
Okay, it's a nice bit of information there. And Dari, one last thing that maybe remind our viewers, please, about the photography exhibition coming up. Can you just remind us once again where and the timings and so forth, because that really sounds very interesting, very fascinating also.
Sure, definitely. It's going to be at Al Tilal Gallery. It's going to be from the 25th to the 29th of September 2010. And please do visit us, because not only do we have our dear friend and colleague at the dive team, Ammar Al-Fawzan, participating in this, but as a dive team, we're also participating in this exhibition. You will see lovely and amazing pictures of underwater worlds, not only just just the underwater, but as well as the creatures that live in there. Okay, look forward to that exhibition. At the end of our interview, Lada, do you have any last words that you'd like to share with our audience tonight of the weekend show? A big thank you. We're very honored, not only that we do come here on a regular basis, but we're very honored that tonight we celebrate with you the first weekend show. So congratulations on that, and thank you very much for hosting us. Thank you, Ladi, and it's always our pleasure to have you right here with us on the weekend show. We were speaking to Dari AlHuwail, and Dari is an international relations officer and CoralWatch coordinator for the Kuwait Dive Team. They are the